All right guys, 80 degrees today, lots of air moving, too windy to spray. I had mixed the first tank of spray for the 2020 season, and it was calm when I started out, but you see all the air moving. It's like a 10-mile-an-hour wind. I'm gonna put this away and wait till maybe later at night. Maybe it'll be calm by then. All right, so I didn't expect to be doing all this today after we got 3 inches of rain the other day, right around 3 inches. No joke there. It rained pretty good, and flood watches and warnings. Anyway, even though it's 80 today, we have 33 degrees next week and a chance of snow again. So still not quite the right weather here, but we're trying to get done what we can. So this year with the soybeans, you'll remember last year I had very weedy soybeans. It was a total fail, resistant weeds. This year we're doing something a little different again. Talking to some guys that have been in the game a long time and have been dealing with some of these herbicide resistant weeds, and we're going to try what we have this year. Now I need 30 days before application to planting. I'm not sure. We're at May 3rd, and try to have it planted by the latest May 25th at the very latest. So I don't know what we're gonna do here, but we're definitely gonna try to get this tank on the first 10 acres anyway. And no, I didn't get any of the manure spread, and even if I wanted to, the fields where it's piled up is such a swamp. I got muddy areas. These beans are actually way on top, the very top of the farm, so I think it's gonna be dry enough to spray. Also, I'm not putting manure on the bean ground anyway, so it seems like a logical place to start. All right, so let's go up and take a quick look at the field conditions here, see how windy it is, and check on the rye. And one quick note here, this sprayer for the first 40 years of its life had a hitch here that it's bent, it's wore very thin, and the weight of the sprayer hanging on this here, this was flipped, this was the opposite way. I'm afraid it's going to crack altogether. So again, running a bare bones minimum farm here, I don't have steel laying around to weld a piece on. I don't have a vise or anything like that, a torch to heat it and bend it. So what do you do in a case like that? You just flip it around. Got a brand new surface. Maybe I'll get another 40 years out of it, who knows. All right, so this is a field of rye here, spread back in November. It really came a long way here. Now this field is south-sided. It's nowhere near those fields up there, but they were planted way earlier. No skippers, no GPS. It looks pretty good. Would probably benefit from a shot of nitrogen, but with it being this close to planting, like I say, this will be a cornfield, unless I decide to leave a field of rye. But this would be a good candidate for leaving a field. But yeah, it looks nice compared to what it was in some of my last videos. All right, again, 2 more fields of rye that are going to be cornfields. There are some thin spots. They could be skippers, but these fields here are a little bit rockier. But again, just blowing it on the surface, it is what it's going to be. You can see out through there, all that green, all the way out through there and over here, that's all rye. So we'll be spraying this stuff dead shortly here. The bean field that I want to spray today is actually where that corn is, and you see how high up it is. We shouldn't have any problem. So what I want to do now, I want to go down in the waterway and see what it looks like. I did tell you guys that it did wash away a little bit, and after 3 inches of rain, I'm curious as to how it's doing. All right, so we got some more bean ground. That's all that purple dead nettle stuff. This stuff is all over the farm from one end to the other this year. I'm looking for mare's tail. That's the biggest problem. These fields are actually drier after the rain we had. And is there any mare's tail? Now, mare's tail seems here that it comes a little bit later, but I'm not seeing any in this general area, but I know it's going to be here. All right, waterway. All right, so just as I suspected, the first part of the waterway is fine all the way down to this tree line, that long run. We're good there, but down lower here where the problem area was, I'm sinking. It's a catastrophe, of course. After all that disruption and trying to get it done, you can see where it's just totally... We'll just walk along it here for you. Like to keep accurate records of this, and if the ditches are too deep here, I will not be mowing it or even going near it. Yeah, so it just, I mean, here's the mesh that's and the straw that was in it, and it just took it right out this little run here anyway. Go down a little further here. Yeah, that's where it's, I mean, the water's still running here. I don't know if there's a spring here or what. I just can't see that it's so dry up top, and here it's washing so bad. I don't know. Like I say, this is just, it's a little off center here where its new run is all, the center is here. I don't know if you can see it, and now it's over there. So yeah, like I figured, this was, like I say, if this project was to be done, if I could get out of it, I would. But like I say, this wasn't my doing, the start of this, and for this, you'd be better off digging like a 10-foot trench down to bedrock and just letting it run down that instead of trying to swale it off. And I mean, there's, like I say, he put these swales in here to direct the water into it, but the problem is now water sits in front of those swales, so now you have dead spots of crops there and there, and a lot of the soil used to make those swales was the subsoil, not the topsoil. So now we got years of rebuilding. But, and I'm not, like I say, I'm not blaming the guy that did this. He had to follow the plans from the county soil conservation, the government. One thing he did do that I didn't like is he put these rocks on top of the netting to hold it down, and he just left them here. So now you're mowing and you hit something like that, they're all through here. So I don't know. Like I said, it can grow up in the trees for all I care at this point. And it's wider than it needs to be. It only has to be 36 feet. We're going to spray it down to 36 feet and just let nature be nature. All right, so one of probably my biggest beef with this whole Waterway thing from start to finish was this part here. This here upper section I don't think was necessary because it didn't wash. This was planted from that tree line all the way out around. I mean, it's almost over a mile from that tree line and contouring all the way around. And this here, yes, it was a low spot. Now it was made lower with the the excavation, but this didn't wash. I mean, just a very little bit, not compared to the lower section. And if this upper section was designed to slow the water down for the lower section, it didn't do it. So I don't know. I think this is a little wider than it needs to be too. I got to measure, and we're gonna figure out what this has to be, because like I say, now here's more acres that are gone for what. All right, so I was looking for mare's tail and I have found it. This is the start, and it's small. This is stuff you can get rid of. Last year it was higher than this. I think with the cooler spring, this isn't off to the start it was last year. So I know I'm a little bit later here, but I think it all worked out. But as far as soil conditions, we are good. Like I say, all this purple dead nettles here, we want to get rid of, put a residual down to hold back any weeds that are thinking of coming along. But yeah, the ground is nice and dry. You can't even see soil in this field now. This will be starting year 4 no-till. You cannot see the ground. You've got the corn trash, you've got bean trash, you got to move all this trash out of the way, and there's the soil. And I wouldn't want to work it, but up here on top, I think I'll be able to float across it, no problem. Like I say, with all this trash here. But yeah, we definitely do have the weeds that I'm looking to control in the fields. All right, you guys will remember from my cover crop video, I had mixed radish seed in with this rye seed, and I'm looking for it, and I don't think it made the winter. I'm not really seeing the radish. You see here, it's kind of thin. This is a real thin spot. Now it is on top of a knuckle here. It is what it is. I'm just glad it germinated. This was spread mid-November, and it was cold. Now it was a warmer winter, but I mean, as far as getting real warm, this didn't really start coming along till spring, the past couple weeks anyway. But I don't see any radishes coming up. I would have liked to, but they could be here. But the rye is definitely here. All right, so here's a shot of the rye all throughout here. This is the biggest This field is the biggest one field on the farm, because it goes down that half circle all the way up, and then it goes all the way out over to the road. It's nice to spray, and it's nice to top dress because it's just a wide open area. But just to give a view here, this, like I say, I'm just not seeing any of these tillage radishes. I don't think they made the winter. I'm just seeing rye and a couple of odd weeds here and there. But yeah, this is the first year for me for the cover crop. I've been wanting to do it, and I just didn't. It's been hard to find rye, and that's kind of why I'm half thinking I might let a field go to seed and get somebody to harvest it for me, and then I'll just store it until next year. And then in all the fields where the corn is, we can just put it back, I guess. Or the beans, all the fields with the beans, because this is helping to create some green manure here. And I don't know, I might even put some nitrogen on that one field just to bring it alive, perk it up real nice if I do decide to harvest it. I know you don't put nitrogen on rye you're going to harvest, but I'm talking like 6-7 gallon maybe, and 2,4-D. So yeah, nice day today, but it's not going to last. Tomorrow we're back to the cold weather. All right, guys, I want to thank you guys for coming along with me today. Like I say, still too windy, but we'll wait till maybe this evening. And 10 acres doesn't take long to get sprayed, so we'll try to do that. I know things are not the greatest in the farm economy, and they're not the greatest everywhere, really, but I can only speak for myself and this operation, and going into 2020 is the kind of the best position I've been in since I started. So we'll see. Like I say, if the prices are lower, then it's not going to be the best year. But anyway, just going into it, starting from a position of strength rather than being way behind. Like I say, everything's pretty well ready to go, and we're ready to roll here. So just need the weather, and we'll go from there. So again, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you on the next one.